5 News at Noon starts now.
Learning more about a shooting at a New York City office building that left multiple dead. The latest on the investigation into a motive just ahead. And President Trump vows increased food aid for Gaza as ceasefire talks with Russia remain stalled. The latest as the president continues his trip in Scotland. Well, thank you for joining us for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley. Arkansas State Police are sharing a sketch of a man they say could be connected to the double homicide over the weekend at Devil's Den. Police say a married couple was killed on a walking trail just before 3 Saturday afternoon. Their 2 young daughters were with them at the time. Both girls escaped without injuries, and they're now safe with family. Now, police haven't released any more details about the circumstances surrounding the attack, but the manhunt for the person responsible is now entering its 4th day. While in the park, the suspect was described to be wearing a long-sleeved shirt with the sleeves rolled up, dark pants, a dark ball cap, sunglasses, and fingerless gloves. State police also say it's likely that he also was injured while he was attacking the couple. With police releasing that sketch, they're hoping this will generate some leads, possibly into the person's identity. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi has the latest on the efforts to track down the suspect.
The search for the person suspected of killing Clinton and Kristen Brink at Devil's Den State Park over the weekend has entered its 4th day, and the Arkansas State Police continues to lead the investigation as they work with local, state, and federal agencies to try to chase down any possible leads. Take a look at your screen now. This is the composite sketch released by the Arkansas State Police late last night of the person of interest. Investigators are asking the public for help in identifying the man so that they may question him in relation to the attack. Patrick McCall, a professional manhunter with experience tracking fugitives across the country, shared with 5 News his perspective about what is going on behind the scenes as ASP continues their search. McCall says the lack of information being released has everything to do with holding evidence close, but says behind the scenes the work is nonstop. He says investigators are most likely deploying license plate cameras, doing social media and cell phone record searches, and going through the victims' personal lives to try and catch the suspect. McCall says the remote setting of Devil's Den, combined with the nature of the crime, paints a chilling picture and says the suspect likely knew the area.
This individual probably enjoyed the park just as these people did, right? Regular goer to the park, did some surveillance and found his perfect hiding spot in here. So anybody that seemed out of the ordinary 3 months ago, 6 months ago, or as recently as the day of should be reported to law enforcement.
Devil's Den is a very popular state park here in Arkansas, and investigators are asking those who may have visited on Saturday to check their phones to see if they have any photos or videos where the suspect might be in them. They're also asking area residents to check security footage and game footage, again, doing whatever they can to chase any possible leads. But for now, I'm live in Lowell, covering news where you live. Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
Thank you, Jacob. And this is the couple who was killed in that attack, 43-year-old Clinton Brink and 41-year-old Kristen Brink. The family had recently moved to Prairie Grove. We've learned that Clinton had transferred jobs from South Dakota, where he worked for Prairie Farms Dairy, and he was actually set to start a new job this week, delivering milk in the Fayetteville area for Highland Dairy. We'll continue following updates from state police and bring you the latest developments as they come into our newsroom on 5 News Plus. To learn how to download it to your smart TV, just text the word plus to the number on your screen, 479-785-5000.
All right, well, let's get a look at what the temperatures are doing across the region so far this afternoon. And you can see it's pretty warm out there. This doesn't paint the full picture just because the air temperatures are in the 90s, but the feels like temperatures are well exceeding that already. 110, it feels like in Clarksville, close to that in Ozark, 103 in Fort Smith, and 102 in Fayetteville. It's hot out there, to say the least, so protect yourself from the heat today. Today's going to be another one of those scorchers where we're going to have high humidity and we're going to have those high temperatures as well. Protect yourself. If you plan to be outdoors or work outdoors, wear light colored clothing. Make sure it's breathable as well. Stay hydrated. And of course, if you're going to walk your pets or anything, I'd wait until later this evening, probably closer to right around or after sunset, just because the surfaces are going to be too hot out there. Upper 90s today for the highs, maybe some triple digits in portions of the River Valley. We're going to be talking about the full forecast here coming up in just a little bit. Hot and humid. We do have some relief to talk about by the time we get to late week. Maybe some comfy weather as well. Details in just minutes.
Thank you, Joshua. In Sallisaw, police continue their search for a suspect considered armed and dangerous. On Sunday, police say they found a victim shot and wounded at a home on Maple. Later, they served a search warrant at the home of Todd Smith. They say he's a suspect in this case, wanted on charges including assault with a deadly weapon. Smith was not home when police arrived to search, and they're still looking for him now. Again, police say he should be considered armed and dangerous. They say don't approach him and to contact them if you see him. Well, a federal judge has blocked an act that threatened to close dozens of pharmacies in the state. The law aims to keep pharmacy benefit managers who negotiate drug costs with insurance companies from also operating as pharmacies. Companies like CVS and Express Scripts sued to stop it from taking effect. CVS warned lawmakers during debate over this bill that it would force them to close 23 drugstores in Arkansas. But those supporting the law say PBMs are muscling out independent drugstores and raising drug prices. After a hearing earlier this month, the judge said the law illegally favors in-state businesses over out-of-state chains, and it gets in the way of federal insurance programs like TRICARE. New York City investigators may have a clue to a motive in a deadly Midtown shooting based on a note that the gunman left behind. Police are looking into whether the suspect targeted the high-rise because it houses the NFL's headquarters. 4 people, including a New York police officer, were killed. Bradley Blackburn is at the scene in Manhattan.
Investigators are searching for a motive in the deadly shooting at a Manhattan office building that left 4 victims dead, including a police officer. New York Mayor Eric Adams says a note was found with the shooter, identified as 27-year-old Shane Tamura of Las Vegas.
The note alluded to that he felt he had CTE, a known brain injury for those who participate in contact sports. He appeared to have blamed the NFL for his injury.
Adams told CBS Mornings the preliminary investigation shows the gunman meant to go to the NFL offices but took the wrong elevator.
The building personnel said, stay in place. There's an active shooter. Don't leave. Get away from the windows.
Among the victims of Monday night's attack is NYPD officer Didarul Islam, who was shot and killed in the lobby. The 36-year-old immigrant from Bangladesh joined the force 3.5 years ago.
He was saving lives. He was protecting New Yorkers.
Police say the gunman also killed a security officer and a woman in the lobby. He then took the elevator to the 33rd floor where the shooting continued.
1 person was struck and killed on that floor. He then proceeds down a hallway and shoots himself in the chest.
Investigators say the suspect drove himself from Las Vegas all the way to New York City, where he parked directly in front of this 44-story office building and then walked into the lobby with a high-powered rifle.
According to our law enforcement partners in Las Vegas, Mr. Tamura has a documented mental health history.
Investigators say the shooter was carrying a concealed firearms permit. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
According to a senior law enforcement source in Nevada, the suspect was licensed as an unarmed security guard, but that license has expired. The source also says that he's been committed several times in the last couple of years for mental health holds. Meanwhile, police in Nevada are investigating a deadly shooting near a casino in Reno. 3 people died and 3 others were wounded on Monday. Police say the suspect's gun malfunctioned when he initially tried to shoot at a group of innocent bystanders in the Valet area. Police say the gunman then continued through the parking lot, opening fire on a casino security guard who confronted him. The shooter's in custody, and investigators have not released a possible motive. Well, 2 children are dead and 3 others hurt after a barge collided with a sailboat off Miami Beach. 5 kids, all between 8 and 12 years old, were on board with a camp counselor for a summer sailing program run by the Miami Yacht Club. Witnesses say divers raced to save them after several became trapped under the barge. 2 of the injured children are in critical condition today. Investigators are still looking into what went wrong. Well, in Scotland, President Trump opened a new golf course this morning, one day after weighing in on the wars in Gaza and Ukraine. Weijia Jiang reports.
President Trump has grown increasingly frustrated with Russian President Vladimir Putin in recent weeks, accusing him of failing to take steps to end the war in Ukraine. On Monday, Trump turned up the pressure even more, saying he is changing his original 50-day deadline to reach a ceasefire announced earlier this month to now just 10 to 12 days. If Putin does not make a deal, Russia would face sanctions, including steep secondary tariffs on countries that continue to buy Russian oil, like India and China. Former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev responded with a warning to Trump, saying, quote, each new ultimatum is a threat and a step towards war, not between Russia and Ukraine, but with his own country. President Trump is also weighing in on another overseas crisis, the worsening famine in Gaza. While talking about increasing aid, he disagreed with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's statement on Sunday that there is no starvation in Gaza. Take a listen.
We can save a lot of people. I mean, some of those kids that's real starvation stuff. I see it. And you can't fake that. So we're going to be even more involved.
President Trump vowed that the U.S., along with the help of European countries, will establish more food centers in Gaza. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, Edinburgh.